Okay, is that any better? Static bad, have no sound, okay. But it should have it now. I forgot to turn the little button, the thing on. There we go. All right, Wildflower Pony, thank you. Still can't hear me? Sure they can. It's better. All right, 1, 2, 3. There's the mic right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 audio. That's better. All right. Yeah, what was I going to say? The mic, this little mic thing, the piece that I plug into the phone, I didn't turn it on. So that's why the phone was buzzing. All right, where are we at? We are in Kuna, Idaho. K-U-N-A, Kuna, Idaho. Sounds like someplace ought to be in Japan or something, right? Kuna, Japan. So, anyway, we're at a rendering plant. It's called Darling Ingredient, okay? And if you look straight ahead, let me turn you around here. If you look straight ahead, see that trailer right there, that trailer? On the other side of him. Well, in the trailer and on the other side of him, all dead cows. A whole bunch of dead cows over there. This is a rendering plant. After the slaughterhouses and stuff get done, and they have, you know, all they have left, you know, they've cut all the meat off that they want, and all they have left is the carcass. The carcass comes here, okay? Also, the dead animals come here, and they said they get a lot of dairy cattle in this area. There's a whole bunch of dairy cows. I'll turn you around so you don't have to look at that no more. There's a whole bunch of dairy operations in this area, and when a dairy cow dies, you know, it's usually a pretty old animal because whatever, and they usually die on property. Well, if an animal's dead by law, a good law, they can't take it down. They can't take it down to a slaughterhouse and slaughter it because it's already dead. It has to walk into the slaughterhouse on its own 2 feet. Okay, they can come limping in, coughing and going, you know, but it's kind of under its own power has to walk into the plant. Okay, and I got everything here. Yeah. So anyway, at a dairy, a lot of times those cows lay out there, you know, work making milk all their life. All right, and they end up dying on the property. So here's a carcass that they can't take down to the slaughterhouse. Okay, now if they know the cow's getting pretty old, they go ahead and let's take her down there and sell her as hamburger meat, right? And they will what's it doing here? Doing too many things at one time here. All right, if they know the cow's getting old and everything, they'll go ahead and sell her and send her down to a slaughterhouse and use her as hamburger meat, basically. And but a lot of times the cow, they don't realize it's getting bad, and just one day they go out there, he's laying down dead in the corral out there, or out in the field or whatever they got, and so they got to do something with it. They got to get that carcass out of there. Happy I'm a vegetarian. I know this is all gross sounding stuff, but if you saw and knew the stuff, the way they process their food and stuff, you'd go, yeah. Even you vegetarians, if you knew how they process some of the vegetables and stuff, you know. So anyway, what was it? Anyway, so if they got an old dead milk cow there, they have the dead wagon, which is this trailer I just brought out here. They have a dead wagon goes over and picks it up, and they scoop it up with a high loader and put it up inside the trailer. And they go and pick them up around all around. They make a route like every day. They make a route and go around and pick up all these dead animals. I asked him, I said, what about like roadkill, like an elk or something like that? He goes, no, we don't get any of them, and we don't get any horses. I'm like, you don't get any horses? He says, no horses at all. Because when they put a horse down, they use some kind of a drug, and they inject them and kill them, and put them down. And that drug lingers in the flesh and everything, and it can't be, they can't get it out, okay? They go through the rendering and all that, and there's still a trace of that drug, and that drug can't be in the finished product. So any animal that was killed that way, your pets, dogs and stuff like that, they can't use them either. But this is mainly for cattle, mainly cattle. Okay, where was it? So anyway, they bring them here, and that building right in front of you here on the left, all those tall silos and stuff like that, that's the rendering plant, and they cook them down. And if you look off to the left here, well, I have to turn you right over there. See those tanks? That's where the finished product comes out. I said, well, what do they use it for? You know, what the end product? And he says, well, it can be a lot of different things. It can be a lot of different things, but what they do is they take the carcass, they grind it down into smaller pieces, they put it into the cooker, they cook it all down, and all the fat that was on it melts off, and it becomes tallow, and that tallow gets stored over there in those tanks, and then these tankers come by and pick it up, and well, they ship it out themselves or whatever, and that goes to different other plants to get processed in a different way. And he says nothing that comes out of here is edible. Nothing comes out of here is edible. But by the time they process this process and go over there and that process and this process and this process, there are some products that can be used as for human consumption. Okay. Or he says edible. He said edible, not, I says for human. And he goes, well, it's just edible. I'm like, okay, well, that means edible for animals, you know, like dog food and stuff. He goes, yep. And he says, so what they'll do is they'll render this down, and what cooks off in a tallow, basically a grease, gets put in those tankers, and they haul that off. And then over here, they've got these other, they've got see the tanks right there, and then they have the tanker trailers, okay? And then the dry stuff, the bone meal that's left over gets hauled in those trailers right over there, okay? That gets hauled off, and they ship that overseas, he said. And what they'll do is they'll process it and make stuff like chicken feed, dog food, you know, gerbil food, just all your different kinds of foods for your other animals, you know, other than cows, because they can't feed cow to cow, otherwise you end up getting mad cow disease. So, so they do all that kind of stuff here. It's a dirty, nasty job that somebody's got. And then of course the leather, you know, they skin them. They get the leather off of there, and they throw it out in a tank, and they soak it in salt water for a couple days. Then they bring it out, wash it off a little bit, fold the hides up, and then they just store them somewhere. I don't know. They put them somewhere and store them, and wait for the market to get better. You know, where the price of leather goes up and down, just like the price of corn, just like the price of gas, just like the price of, you know, all kinds of different commodities go up and down and up and down. They wait till the price of leather goes up, and then they sell it, okay? So it's basically, they're just taking the waste, what would go normally, all those cattle over there would normally just go into a landfill. They use them and make a product out of them. They use every last, even the dead animals that don't survive, they use every last bit of a cow, okay? So I always thought it was weird. You know, they say, well, the American Indian, they had buffalo, and they used every last scrap of the animal. Oh boy, yeah. Well, we do too, you know. And so I never understood the idea that, well, the American Indian was so noble because they used all the cow, or all the buffalo or whatever. They didn't waste. Well, we don't, right here, this is proof. We don't waste anything either. There's byproducts on all kinds of stuff, and there's byproducts on all kinds of different stuff, and it ends up getting used in some way or another, like blood. Now, they don't have any blood here. The blood in this is probably all bad and everything, but the live cows, just right down the road is a slaughterhouse for cattle. You know, they bring. I asked him, is it mostly dairy cattle around here then? He goes, no, what they bring across the road over here is mostly beef cows, you know, like Angus and stuff. Well, when they slaughter that cow, there's a lot of blood in a cow. I'd say there's probably, a gallon of blood in each cow. So they got to do something with it. What do you suppose they do with blood? One of the things they do is make makeup, lipstick. Lipstick is made with blood, believe it or not, blood and wax. So yeah, think about that next time you kiss a girl with lipstick on. So yeah, it's amazing the different things that people, you know, that are made from one product or another, you know. So let's turn you around here for a second. So yeah, educational this morning. You probably didn't want to know most of that. Yeah, people like to just think their beef comes from the grocery store. That's just where it magically appears. They don't want to know the process beforehand, how this happened and that happened and all this to get it to that package in the grocery store. Everybody's like, yeah, just give it to me, just give it to me, you know. So people like to be ignorant. They like to be you know, not know the whole story. So all right, time to call dispatch and see what we got. Probably nothing. Probably won't be going anywhere for a little while, but we'll find out here. Let's see here. Hello. Oh, I'm checking in this morning. Down empty call up here in Kuna, Idaho. Okay. Got nothing yet? Okay. I kind of figured that. Oh, I talked to him yesterday. Yeah, I talked to him yesterday, and he said that yesterday was a bank holiday, so there's no money being transferred. Therefore, a lot of times they don't have trailers don't get sold on bank holidays because they can't transfer money or something. So, and that's one thing with a yeah. So, all right. You don't call us, let's call you, kind of thing, or what? Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna go over and park and watch the TV and kind of kick back and relax. All right. You know where I'm at. Bye. All right. So we don't have. Let's see here. We'll turn you around. We don't have any anything going on yet. Coming. All right. There's an old plant across the road there that they're not using right now. It's shut down. And here off to the right, as we come up the road here on the right hand side, that's a slaughterhouse there for cattle. Yeah, when I came down this road this morning, there was 4 or 5 cattle trailers lined up on the road out here, and they're all gone now, so they're in there probably unloading now. So. Yeah, it's kind of a nasty business, you know. Trying to get the food on your table. It's not pretty a lot of times. So I look back here and see if I see those cattle trailers unloading. Yep, there they're all right there. Oh, all right. Pretty small on the screen there, but there they are pulling around. So beef packers. CS beef packers. So Yep, that's nobody. Spam risk. Alright, let's turn this way. Kind of out in the middle of nowhere, ain't we? But we're close to a town called Kuna, Idaho. It's just south of Boise a little ways. Getting ready to do something here. Build something. Get all their bulldozers out. Don't know what they're getting ready to do there. Right here's a little wide spot. Looks like when they get done delivering their cows, they come back over here and they take a nap or something, apparently. The guy over to the right, he was there this morning. He's probably in there taking a nap. He drove all night to get here, and then right on the left up here is a gun club, you know, like shooting range. It's like for shotguns mostly. Boise Gun Club. There you are. in Idaho. So, oh, you're watching? Okay, right. Right. Yeah. All right. This is one of my friends. I'm talking to the YouTube guys now. This is one of my friends who lives down in Florida, truck driver friend of mine. He was watching the live stream here, right? And he says, just to let you know, he Googled it, and he says there's more than 10 gallons of blood in an average cow. Wow. Would have never guessed there was that much in a cow. So, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah. Yeah. Right, yeah, sure it is. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Now that was, I'm going to talk about that here. Today'd be a good day to talk about it. I'll go back there to sleeper because I'm getting ready to pull off up here. There's a little wide spot up here. Kuna. It's just southwest of Boise. Yeah. Kuna, Idaho. Kuna, Kuna. So, yeah, just southwest of Boise. And where I wasn't actually in the town of Kuna. I mean, it's a rendering plant and a slaughterhouse. They don't want that right downtown, so, because of the smell and everything. And I was surprised it didn't smell, but I think the wind was in the right direction. The wind was kind of out of the north a little bit, just a soft breeze. And that was just the right direction to where I didn't hear anything or smell anything. So, yeah. So, all right. Yeah, it is. Right here where I'm at is pretty just wide open, sagebrush area. So, yeah, I just pulled over here to forward around, but wait for dispatch. No. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'll call you after I get off the live stream. I'll give you a call, okay? Yeah. All right. Later. Bye-bye. That was Mr. Dwayne. That was a truck driver friend of mine from Florida. So we're going to get you out of the sun because the phone is starting to get hot. I can feel it. And I'm going to put you back here. Set you guys up real quick. I'll set you guys up right here. Let me take care of some stuff real quick. There we go. Turn that off. Turn the blinker off. All right. So let me get my computer out. We're gonna do a little bit of talking here. Trying to decide what to do, different ideas I've got. Here we go. Oh, hear the birds singing in the background? Yeah, so, all right, there we go. Let me get plugged in and all this kind of stuff. I was kind of hoping to get a load, but right now because Monday was a holiday, sort of, the banks aren't open, and this place we go to up here in Idaho, up here in Boise, this trailer manufacturer, they don't sell a lot of those trailers or those live bottoms, you know. And it's not like Utility or Great Dane, where they're selling, you know, thousands every day. Those are pre-bought, all that stuff is done months in advance and all that kind of stuff. When you're selling a trailer to Walmart, you know, you're not waiting on money. It's already either been paid or you know it's coming or whatever. But these smaller companies that, you know, just do these individual trailers like this, they're not selling to big corporations like Walmart. They're selling to more like just people like me, you know, just regular truck drivers or small businesses. And they want to make sure they're paid for their trailer before it gets, so they have to get the money transferred. So on a bank holiday like Monday, they can't transfer anything. Therefore, they can't release the trailer to, it might be sold, ready to go, but the customer hasn't paid for it yet. We're going to ship this on Tuesday. Okay, let's pay for it on Monday. Well, if Monday's a holiday, we can't pay for it, so we got to wait till Tuesday. Well, then that probably moves shipping off till Wednesday or something like that. So that's one of the little things that they were. I was talking to the owner yesterday, and he says, "Yeah, there's a good chance we won't have anything for you until later in the day on Tuesday." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So I can sit around when it's 70 degrees outside. I can sit around and kick back and relax and whatever. It's when you're in Texas in the summer, it's 110 degrees. I don't want to be sitting in this truck sweating my butt off or running the generator for 12 hours. All right, let's see here. What was I going to do? I was going to do some comments from you guys. Just sit there and read comments and everything. But I was going to pull something else up here. What was it? What was I going to do? Oh, I know what it was. What Dwayne brought up. Not this trailer. This is a dump trailer, of course, that I just delivered. But the one before that I took from Tucson, Arizona to Cincinnati. Remember that was a furniture trailer? Well, I got the idea a long time ago. How did that all work? A long time ago, I think it was still running California back. It was like 2015 still. Anyway, I'm driving down the road and got the idea that, well, I just bought that new W900 Kenworth. It was a 2015, so I bought it in June of 2014. So it was right around early 2015 or whatever. I'm sitting there thinking, you know, one of these days, this will probably be my last truck. Famous last words. I've had two since then. But I figured, well, this will probably be my last truck. And what I'll do is I'll run it for about 4 or 5 years, put about 800,000 miles on it. And after that, retire. And I'll take that truck and sell it, okay, and buy a pickup and a fifth wheel trailer and go RV camping, travel around the country, you know, do that retirement thing. And that was kind of the idea, right? And I'm driving along one day and it just kind of, I'm thinking what trailer to buy, because most of these fifth wheel trailers only have a 40 or 50 gallon water tank. And my idea is to go boondocking, which means you're not going to RV parks and camping, you know, hooking up. You don't have hookups. So if you don't have hookups, you can't use those big air conditioners on the roof and all this kind of stuff. So you need to travel where the weather's nice and you just open the windows, like today, and let a breeze blow through. I mean, I can sit here all day and enjoy myself watching TV and doing whatever. So anyway, the idea, I guess, was, you know, sell the semi and use that money to buy a pickup. And it kind of dawned on me, you know, wait a minute. I'm going to sell this semi, this very capable semi, that's in good shape. I've used it all my life, you know, since it was new, and I know everything about it. Okay, and I'm going to sell that truck and buy a, you know, for $50,000 or $60,000 maybe. At that time, back then, that was the prices. That truck today, I could probably sell for $100 more than I paid for it. But anyway, you sit there and take that truck. It's $150,000 brand new. years later, it'd be, 5 years later with 8 or 900,000 miles on it, it's uh, um, it'd be worth probably 50 to 60,000, maybe somewhere along in there. So you're going to take $50 or $60,000 semi, sell it, and use that $50,000 to buy a pickup. Well, pickups are expensive. Even back then, a nice Lariat, a Ford Lariat dually, 4-door dually, would be a $60,000 pickup. They're $90,000 and $100,000 now, for these stupid pickups. And it just dawned on me, why sell a perfectly capable 18-wheeler semi, not the trailer, but just the tractor, and sell it and buy a less capable pickup for the same price or more that won't quite do the job. The semi do a hell of a lot better job. Why don't we just keep the semi and pull the fifth wheel? That's not a bad idea. So I went with that idea for a little while, and then started looking around for trailers, trying to decide what kind of trailer to buy and everything like that. And I wanted to boondock, and when you boondock, you want to have your own solar panels, and you want to have a huge water tank, and you want to be able to be self-sufficient, okay, and not have to go into town and hook up all the time, because that's one of the biggest things. Whenever I'm out with my friends out there in Quartzsite hanging out or whatever, that's the number one thing is water. Well, we got solar, we got generators or whatever, but we don't have enough water. We've used all our water. Our fresh tanks are empty and our gray and black tanks are full. Now we got to go to town, hook it all up and get rid of the sewage and fill up with water again. And that's the number one limiting factor. They can store up on a lot of food. They have all the electricity they want because they've got solar. The water was the huge limiting factor. So I started looking around for fifth wheels that have a huge water tank, and most of them, the biggest ones usually maybe have 100, but usually about a 60 or 80 gallon. Some of them only have a 40 gallon. A lot of them have the idea of you don't need a big water tank because you're going to go from this RV park to that RV park. You just need a little bit of water for when you're in travel, and you pull off into a rest area for the night. You're going to go from Minnesota and you're going to drive straight down to Florida for the winter, okay? On the way down there, you're going to stop at this rest area for the night, and the next night you're going to stop at an RV park, and then the next night you stop at a rest area, and then the next night you're going to be in Florida. So they don't need these huge water tanks in these RVs, that I would like. I'd like a 200 or 300 gallons is what I'd like. And they just don't make them. I want to be able to fill up and be done with it. So I got to think, well, why buy a fifth wheel? Why don't I just buy a trailer? I think I saw a video or something. Some guy had built a trailer out of a semi, an RV out of a semi trailer. And I thought, that's a great idea, So I started looking into it, and I thought, I owned the reefer trailer, but the reefer trailer just doesn't lend well to an RV. It's already insulated, that's good. But the deck, is real high and it's hard to get in and out of. The floor has that corrugated floor. So anyway, and then if you ever want to cut holes in it, where do you cut the holes? And I got to think a better solution for that would be a moving van, a moving trailer, like United Van Lines or Mayflower, one of those. Yeah, I know. I'm getting to that. So anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, well, what can I do? So I was about ready to do this back in about 2016. I was about ready to do this and buy a trailer. About 2018, I think, somewhere along in there. I was about ready to buy a furniture trailer, what they call an electronics trailer. An electronics trailer is built like a Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about gray wolf. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, they got so they got these electronics trailers, which is basically a furniture trailer. They just don't have the side doors. All they have is the two back doors. That's it. But it comes back to the landing gear and then drops down 1.5 feet or so, and then the rest of the floor. And the thing about that is the deck is at the back is so low, it's easy to drive a Jeep up. And let me pull this up if I can find it again. But I was going to build an RV. I'm gonna pull this thing up on Google SketchUp, and I can show you for exactly what I was talking about doing. Come on. I've got these things saved in here, so come on, open up. It takes a while. All right, I'm gonna pull you around here, turn you around, pull you around and turn you around. Sound like a, there we go. Let's turn this around. There we go. All right, let's see if you guys can see that. Got stuff out on the floor down here. All right, here's a semi-trailer, okay? And let's see, I got to get the right tool here. But right here is a semi-trailer, okay? You'd have the truck is up here, and then here's the under where the landing gear or the duals would be, and then here's where the trailer tires would be. All right, and what you do is that would be an air conditioner in the front up here. All right, and here would be the bedroom up front, okay, and then here's the living room. All right, so there'd be there'd be the sofa, here'd be the TV, entertainment center. What are they doing here? Anyway, I'm trying to get rid of that up there. I don't know what it is. Anyway, then you'd have a elevator. See the steps coming up to his elevated area where there'd be a U-shaped kitchen and then a bathroom, and then there's a door going back here into the garage. Well, the garage would be 2-story. Okay, and this is a little different here. This is a bad plan here because forget about all this stuff here. This would be up another foot or so and be flat floor. Okay, but I could put a toolbox right here, and I could put a Jeep in here. Okay, I could drive a Jeep in here, and then above the Jeep, I could put a roof or a floor and put an upstairs attic area and just storage. Okay, and then on top of all of that, you've got this huge roof. You could do 5,000 watts of solar if you wanted. I mean, it's just unlimited how much solar you could put up there. All right. And so anyway, I just had this idea of building something similar to this, you know, and there's your sink and your toilet and your shower and your storage for your vanity, you know, storage for toiletries and stuff like that. And then the way you'd build the couch and everything would be build the couch and have cushions on it, but they'd be able to lift up and it'd all be storage up underneath there. The bed would lift up and you could have storage underneath there. There's a huge closet up front. You get the idea. I just had this is what I had in mind. Okay, that's version 1. Nope, that ain't it. Where am I looking here? No, that ain't it. How do you get out of this? And it's got to reload again. But there was different versions, but that gives you the idea of what I had in mind, okay? Use a semi-trailer to build an RV out of. And I've got different versions of it and stuff, different ideas of how to build that all out. So, been sitting there considering doing that, selling this truck, okay, and using the proceeds from this truck that I can buy. I got to buy a different tractor because I don't want to use this tractor. Okay, what sense would it make? This truck is probably worth somewhere around $120,000 right now. The market is way up right now. So this truck is probably worth about $120,000. What about if I took this truck that got $120,000 and turn it into cash? Then I go and buy a much cheaper tractor, just a old Freightliner, you know, Century or a Columbia Freightliner or an International or some cheaper truck for $25,000, $30,000. And they're out there. You have to look for them. And the ones, you know, a lot of them that are that price are junk, you know, and you got to sift through and find a good one, you know. But you buy that truck, there's $30,000 in a truck, and then you go out and buy one of these trailers that I'm talking about, and a furniture trailer, they're expensive, okay? But the electronics trailers aren't. They're fairly low cost because there's such a limited use on them, okay? Um, but there's such, let me get my coffee. But it's such a limited use because they've got that step deck, okay? It's a furniture trailer, but it doesn't have the side doors, okay? They use them mainly for hauling electronics or auto parts. You know, auto parts get hauled in them a lot. And so anyway, I was looking into one of those, okay? And the you can get one of them for about 15, 20,000, you know, as cheap as 8 or 9,000, but they're usually rusted out junk by then. But you get a pretty nice one for about $18,000 or $20,000. So you got a $30,000 truck, and let's say an 18. Let's say, knowing me, I'm going to wait until I find that really nice one for 20,000. So now I got $50,000 just in a rig, and it hasn't even been built yet. It's just the tractor and trailer, and that's it. And it hasn't even been built out. Well, I thought about that idea way back when, and I was about ready to buy one and do that. And I went to the insurance. I thought, well, I better check on insurance before I go and buy something like this. And I couldn't find anybody to insure it at all. Nobody would insure it. Well, during the convoy, I run across a fellow that was living in his trailer, like doing what I'm talking about doing. And he told me how to get it insured. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I went down, when I left the convoy in California, when they were out in California, and I left and I came back home to go work. When I got home, I needed to pay the insurance on my van. So I went down to the farmer's insurance and paid for my van insurance. And while I was there, I asked her about it. She goes, oh yeah, we can do it like that, no problem. I said, well, why wouldn't you do it before? And she says, how did you, and I explained how it, she goes, oh, that's because you explained it in the wrong way and we can't insure it that way. Oh, okay. So anyway, there's a story to that. But anyway, found out I can insure it. I can get it done and everything. So I thought, well, that puts that back on the table. Good idea. Let's try that. And I've been kicking that around in my head for a long time, you know, for several months now, and thinking about maybe doing that. The nice thing about the semi is you can take so much stuff with you. It's basically a house on wheels. It's bigger than any RV. And it's got a built-in garage. You can put your Jeep or your side-by-side or whatever inside of it. And I thought, man, it'd be a great idea. But I got to looking into it. I'm like, before I even get started, I've got a $30,000 truck and a $20,000 trailer. I got $50,000 wrapped up, or a $32,000 truck and an $18,000 trailer, or what. I'm going to have somewhere around $50,000 or just in the machine before I've even built anything. And there's probably, and I always underestimate. I'll say, well, there's $10,000 in a build, and it ends up being 15 or 16,000 in materials to build it out. I'd sit there and think it's 15,000. It turns into 20,000. You know, whatever. So by the time I'm done, I got a $70,000 rig, or $70,000 invested into a truck, a trailer, and whatever. I could buy a really nice RV for $70,000. You know, and then on top of the truck, you have the Jeep also, okay? And depending on how much you want to spend on a Jeep. So you got all that. So you got $100,000 wrapped up into your rig, so to say. Well, that's all good and well. I got 120 in this, cash that out, turn this into that whole other rig. Well, here's a different idea. How about cash this truck out and go buy a $30,000 motorhome and have $70,000 left over to play with, plus all, and not have to touch my savings until I get to be 90 years old, you know. Live on a little bit of YouTube money and a little bit of like Pam's Social Security, or not Social Security, or pension money and whatever. Live on that for a few years, you know, that type of idea, right? So I don't know. It was just, I've been kicking it around trying to decide which way to go and which way to do. And the other day, it's been 4 or 5 days ago now, I think I was in Cincinnati, and it just dawned on me about why put so much money back into the rig and not have any play money, you know, any gas money. So you need a lot of gas money nowadays. So I'm sitting there thinking, there's that old thing about the school buses. So man, I've been thinking about doing that school bus instead. And the school bus, what's nice about the school bus is instead of having $50,000 invested in the truck and trailer, you only have about $7,000 or $8,000 or maybe $10,000 invested in the bus itself. You put $10,000 into the build because the build will be smaller. It's a smaller unit, okay? Overall, I mean, interior living space, but the Jeep is outside, okay? So really, it's not that much smaller, okay? If you figure it out, it's not that much smaller of a living space. And you put the Jeep out back and tow it on the ground, flat tow it. So I'm really, really scratching my head whether to, whoa, somebody, what? Who threw $50? Ride along gang. Good morning, Stan. Was just wondering if you are finished. Okay, hold on here. What? Ride along gang. Good morning, Stan. Was just wondering if when you are finished your live stream, if you'd be so kind to suggest your hardcore live stream fans. Hardcore live stream fans. All right. That's what we got. Hardcore live stream fans. They come visit my live streams. Okay, Ride Along Gang. There you go. Go visit them and check them out. I don't know much about them. Ride Along Gang on YouTube, I suppose. Let me look. I've heard of Ride Along Gang. I just don't know much about them. Sorry. Let me click that off of there. Let me look them up real quick. Oh, it's a trucking channel. Okay, great. Video. 10,000 subscribers. Okay, there you go. And what kind of truck they got? They got a picture of a Peterbilt pulling an end dump. Don't know. But yeah, okay, the trucking channel. Somebody told me about you guys, or I talked to somebody or something. You're not unfamiliar to me. I don't watch a lot of trucking channels because I live it. I don't really care to watch it. Somebody else drive a truck, it's not my interest. It's not in my wheelhouse of interest. Like Trucker G. I mean, I love the shit out of Trucker G and his wife, but I don't watch them because I'm not interested in their trucking stuff that they do. More than happy to be friends with them and everything. I'm not interested in the Mud Pig. I don't watch his stuff. I don't watch that kind of stuff on YouTube. What I watch on YouTube is usually sciencey or learning stuff, documentaries and stuff like that. I like to learn. Okay. So, but anyway, so yeah, there you go. Ride Along Gang. You got your big shout out. Okay. And we get a few of my people to go over and watch you guys as far as trucking goes. So there you go. Real life trucking from El Paso on June 14th. Real word trucking. Looks like they do a lot of really long live streams. 11 hours, or 12 hours. Wow. Like all day long stuff. Wow. There you go. If you want all day long trucking, there you go. Ride Along Gang. So there you go. Let's see. I want to look at home. What is their about? There it is. About. This is a live stream dash cam. This is Ride Along Gang. This is a live stream dash cam setup for your enjoyment. It's also to show you the life of a truck driver. Our day isn't just driving from pickup to delivery. Too many people don't understand that. Here you will get to see all the driving you expect, plus time spent at the shippers and receivers, unexpected stops, traffic breakdowns, layovers. Talk with us when we can. This is my story of life on the road, not just trucking. We also get buffer privileges out here, so that when that happens, please be patient. And buffer privileges. Be patient and refresh when needed. Hope you enjoy. If so, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for the opportunity. There you go. So yeah, it's a full-time, basically that's all they do is dash cam all day long for the most part. It looks like a lot of. So I don't know if I want that much of my life out there. Oh, mercy. So anyway, Did anybody watch yesterday afternoon's music ride? I thought I'd try it, see what happened. It was real pretty scenery along in through there where I was in Wyoming. I was in Cokeville, Wyoming, and I drove from there over to well, actually all the way over to here, but was going to drive over to Pocatello, Idaho. So I was going to go drive that route. And I've been across there several times, and it's a pretty run. You know, it's a real pretty run across there. So I thought I'd run that way. And problem is, it's real remote, and it didn't have any cell service. So I run along there for about an hour. Was going to do a 3 or 4 hour live stream with no comments or nothing, just listen to the music and look at the scenery kind of stuff. And I didn't know if people liked that or not. And you know, if you like it, put it in the comments or whatever, or leave a comment right now, thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. But you know, I thought I'd try it, and I got around a corner and come into Idaho, come across the state line, and nothing. I had 0 bars. I couldn't make a phone call. I mean, I had nothing for about an hour. Finally popped over the hill, come into some other town. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But anyway, signal came back, but I'm like, I'd long shut the video off by then. So yeah, it was an hour just to give you a taste of what it would be like if I was just to do a live stream all day or most of the day, or for, you know, when I was in a pretty scenery area. Enjoyed the music idea. Okay, good. So, let's see. You guys got any comments or any questions you want to ask me real quick? And then I got to get off and talk about Gray Wolf. I got to talk about Gray Wolf a little bit. So, signal wasn't good yesterday. No, it wasn't. It was in a bad area for live streaming because I didn't have 5G coverage. All I had was LTE, and it was only about 2 bars. I went around a curve and came into Idaho, and I mean, I lost that signal. It just died, and I had nothing. So yeah, it wasn't a very good quality. It would normally be a better quality than that. It's just, and the bad thing is, the places I'd like to do this, the scenic, pretty places, are going to be those remote places like that where a signal won't come through, you know. But if I'm driving across Oklahoma or something like that, or driving across Ohio and it's just open highway, nothing, you know, I can't see the enjoyment of seeing that. But when you're out in the mountains in either the eastern mountains or the Rocky Mountains, you know, the Appalachians, or if you're in a scenic area like West Virginia, someplace like that, and you got things to look at. Ooh, wow, look at this! Isn't this pretty? You know, do those live streams like that, drive along. Like I said, the problem is those are places that the signal usually isn't very good. So I'm waiting for some questions. I don't see any questions. Anybody got any questions? I can answer a few questions here real quick. Of course, I could just scroll back, I guess. Hope to see you again. Moved back to Oregon 11 years ago. Okay, you got your Sasnak stickers and Gray Wolf. We're going to talk about Gray Wolf here in just a second. How many miles does this truck have on it? Getting close to 1.3 million. You know, 1,280,000 or something like that. Yeah, I watched you change your blinker fluid. Yeah. Yeah, I ran out of blinker fluid. I actually ran out of blinker fluid yesterday. So I put a new blinker in. So moved back to Oregon 11 years ago from Boise. Great mistake. Yeah, Boise is a pretty area. It's kind of open tundra where I'm at right now, but I can see mountains over there, and just, you know, where I came through over by Pocatello and all that over there yesterday. It's real pretty. Real pretty area. Love the ride-alongs. Okay, good. I was just going to ask you, North Star Great Danes, who that Solomon person was. Don't know. That's a question for Great Dane. Good to meet you in Hagerstown. I'm from northern western PA. Okay, horse races the other night. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, had a good time. Actually made a little bit of money there. Not a lot, but I made some money. Happy Okay. Where are we? We're in the sleeper. Now we're in Idaho. We're just south of Boise, Idaho. I delivered a trailer this morning over in Kuna, Idaho, and I left there and come over here to this little, it's like a little rest area on the side of the road, and pulled in here. This is where I spent the night last night. So I left here, went down, delivered a trailer, and I came back over here. I've got really good TV reception here because Boise's just right over that hump, 10, 15 miles away, and I got really good TV reception here, but I'm way out in the middle of nowhere, country-wise. Yeah, enjoyed the horse racing adventure, and I'm sitting here waiting for dispatch to find a load for me. So I might be here another 5 minutes, might be here another 2 days. I have no idea. If I'm still here later on tonight, I'll probably work my way into town and find someplace up there closer to town. How's my fasting going? Good question. El Segundo. Do I know anybody in El Segundo? Hung up awful quick. I don't know anybody in El Segundo. But I got all my clothes on, so I can't really weigh myself right now. I weigh stripped down. So I don't know off the top of my head. I'm going to guess I've lost some. I haven't been home. The last time I weighed myself was at home on a digital scale. And I was at 2. That's 3 now. 3 now today. And so, yeah. Just marketers. Why do they even bother? Does anybody buy anything from a telemarketer? Anything. I mean, and if you do, you're an idiot. Just don't buy anything from a telemarketer. And yet they still keep calling. What was I talking about? Where we're at. So I'm sitting out here waiting until dispatch, and we will find out where we're going next. But I can sit here all day because the weather's nice. I mean, it'll probably get up about 70 degrees today. It's got a nice breeze. I'll be comfortable all day long just sitting here. When I get done with you guys, I'll turn the TV on, sit here and watch TV, Let's see what else we got here. Have I ever been to the Bristol race? No, I would love to go to the Bristol race, especially now that it's a dirt race. But yeah, I would love to go. The only NASCAR race I've ever been to is the one in Fort Worth. I watch them all. Or watch what I can. Use Robo Killer. I've heard about that. North Star. I've heard about that, but I've also heard that you end up getting put on more lists that way. So I don't know. Are you Sagittarius? No, I'm not Sagittarius. Robo Killer call. It works very well on spam calls. Okay. Does anybody know why Yellowstone is flooding? Yeah, because it rained there a lot. Last month it rained and rained and rained. So, and it's flooded things out. That's what I usually get. I usually get about 3. The other day I got 10 in about an hour. Got a bunch of them. When are you going to start this build of your camper? I probably not. If I do, it'll probably be a bus, probably a school bus, and it'll have to be an 07 or older school bus because in 08 they start putting the emissions on them, and I won't buy anything that has that damn emissions, diesel emissions. I won't have anything that'll have that stuff on there. And the thing is, if you buy a newer one and you delete the emissions, if you ever break down, you take it to a shop, they won't work on it. They say, nope, get it out of here. We don't want to work on it. So you either have to do your own mechanic wrenching or just don't buy one that has the emissions on it. So simple for me, buying 07 or older. So that's what I'm going to be looking for is about a 07 to back to about a 05 era, right along in there. I would, if I could find one in good shape. The problem is by the time I would love to find a school bus that had that 5.9 Cummins diesel, the same thing they put in the Dodge pickups. I would love to find one of those, the old mechanical 5.9s. Problem is they kind of quit putting them in buses around 99, 2000-ish. I think they might have put a few of them in up until about 2001. But You're gonna have to find one. You know, every time I see one, it's a 99 or a 95 or something like that, and they're usually really bad shape, old and rusted out and stuff like that. Um, um, Another decent motor, I think, is the International 466 diesel motor, so something like that. Cummins makes a 8.3. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's probably an okay motor. That's what replaced the 5.9 Cummins. That's one of the ones. Anyway, so, and that's one of the motors they put in buses, I should say. So, or I could go really, really old and get a 1959 bus with a gas motor in it, big old 454 or something like that in it. But no, but yeah, I'm not in any huge hurry. I got to buy a bus today, but I'm going to keep my eye out for a good shaped bus. I'm just look around on Marketplace and stuff like that, you know. And when I spot one, ooh, you know, time to go get that one, you know. I always thought I'd like to have one of those cab over flat nose where the engine's back here in a doghouse. The more I think about that, you think, well, there's more room. Well, there really isn't more room. The wheelbase is shorter, so it turns a lot easier, but the overall living area inside isn't any bigger. All they do on the other buses is they just put the cab out front, the hood out front, and put the wheels out front. Makes the wheelbase longer, but the inside of the bus, as long as it's the longer bus, is the same, if not more. I was reading some Marketplace classifieds, and one of them was had measurements on their buses, and they had one that was the cab over style, and said it's 34 feet long or something like that, and had 26 foot of buildable space on the inside. And one of the other ones said it was 39 foot, 37 foot long, but had 27, a foot longer of buildable space on the inside. And it had the hood outside, and that is so much easier to work on the engine. You just open the hood and you get the engine so easy compared to the doghouse type. The doghouse type, you take the doghouse off, you can get to the top of the engine real easy, but everywhere else around it's hard to get to. It's just so much easier to just click and lift the hood open, you know. But and it's more of a truck chassis type design than anyway. And because it's a longer wheelbase, it'd ride better. Now it won't turn as sharp, but it would ride better going down the road. So, but all right, talked a few things here. Sparks Motors. Yeah, there's plenty of places in the Dallas-Fort Worth. There's the Partridge Family Bus. There you go. Oh, here comes bull hauler. Bull hauler's pulling through. He's making a U-turn, I guess. Well, he just pulled in real quick. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got another spam call. I got another spam call. Quit calling me! Will you transform the bus into a living RV type ride? Yeah, that's the idea. Build it. Take a school bus and turn it into an RV. All right. Pam's not real keen on the idea of living in a school bus. She's like, I don't want to live in no school bus. So I'm like, have you seen some of the things people can build and make? I mean, they can make nice things. And the thing about that school bus, you can put 200 or 300 gallons worth of water in the dang thing, you know, and put it back here over the axles, you know, rear axles, and then where the water tanks are, you can put the bed right on top of that. So I got it all in here. I got it all lined out. I'll tell you what, if you want to see a good video, go back to my channel, here on my channel. After this is over, don't do it now. After this is over, and go to type in on my channel and type in Sasnak Bluebird, okay? Sasnak Bluebird. And it's a video I did of Rick's bus about 3 or 4 years ago, about 3 years ago, I think. And I did a tour of his bus, and I love his bus. He just did a really good job on it, I think. I would have chose different colors slightly, you know. I like the outside blue color, but he painted on the inside, he painted a real powder, really light blue. And I think I just painted plain white or an off-white, like a eggshell or some color like that, because the because the baby blue and the wood, it's about this color wood. He's got what was the two kinds of wood he has in there? Maple. He had hard maple and Brazilian teak or some kind of teak, Brazilian teak. Anyway, it was about this shade though. So this with a baby blue right beside it, it just, colors weren't quite right on the inside. But other than that, I love the layout and how he fixed it all up and everything. And where the bed stops is right behind the wheels. You know, the bed sits right where the back wheels are. There's a wall, and then behind that was storage. So when you walk around back, the emergency door in the back, you open that up, and you had a little garage for tools, and that's where he put all his electric batteries and electric systems for his solar and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought he did a really, really good job on that bus. So that really got me excited. Like, ooh, I like this. I asked him, I said, you want to sell this? And he goes, no. But and he's got that old Dodge motor. That, I mean, I don't know what year his bus is. I don't remember, but he's got that old Dodge motor. And anyway, all right, we've talked about all this other stuff. Let's talk about Gray Wolf. Gray Wolf is gonna go walking. He's gonna walk I talked to him yesterday for about 3 hours, yesterday afternoon, and coming across Wyoming. I talked for about 3 hours yesterday afternoon, and man, oh man, he is in his truck bobtailing home. He'd been over on the East Coast working after the convoy was, and Gray Wolf, you know who I'm talking about, right? Anyway, he's got that old green Kenworth, and I did the interview with him here in the truck back during the convoy and everything. And what was that? Sasnak? Yep, Sasnak Stickers. Don't forget your Sasnak Stickers. But anyway, you take. He left the East Coast and was bobtailing all the way back to Reno, Nevada, where he lives. And I asked him, I said, where are you at? And he said, I'm in Nebraska. I'm like, oh, I just came through. I just came through Nebraska. I'm over in Wyoming now. And he goes, oh, I'm right behind you. I said, oh, well, if I pull over, you catch up. He was a day behind me, but he says, no. He said, I said, what town? He told me, I don't remember. I said, where's that at? And he goes, down here on Highway 7. I said, why aren't you on the interstate? And he says, oh, I'm taking the 2 lanes, the roads that I'm going to walk on. The roads you're going to walk on? What are you talking about? I'm going to do a walk across America. What? And I had seen somebody made a comment somewhere, is in this, I don't know, in the chat, or was in a comment or something, that Gray Wolf was going to, and one time, that's all I saw, one time, somebody was saying about Gray Wolf was going to do a walk across America. And I just figured it was a troll trying to stir something up, Didn't give it any credence at all. And I'm sitting there talking to him. He goes, oh yeah, I'm going to walk across America. I'm like, what? Okay. So anyway, he told me his plans and everything, and he's got backing. He's got, got a lot of people interested in it and everything. So, okay, cool, But I guess the idea is basically, instead of a convoy of semis, have a mob of people. By the time he leaves solo in Reno and walks all the way across, and he picks more and more people up, and as they get closer to DC, he has a mob of people, and they walk over, and they actually walk right down into DC. And he's going to leave. He's going to try to call it the Mall Walk. And what was the other thing he called it? GrayWolfWalk.com. Gray Wolf, that's gray with an E, Gray Wolf Walk for freedom. Okay, GrayWolfWalk.com. Go to that website, and that tells you a little bit about what's going on there. But he's going to leave Reno, Nevada at a mall, okay, the Meadowood Mall Circle. Oop, dang it, clicked on the wrong thing there. the Meadowood Mall Circle. Okay, there's a mall there in Reno. And he's going to walk from one mall in Reno to the mall in DC. So he's, yeah, I know he says I've kind of toyed around with, branding and all that kind of stuff. The mall walk. Okay. So I don't know. He's got different routes here. He's got the main route's going across Nevada into Utah, then working his way across Utah up to northern Colorado, run across northern Colorado, and then southern Nebraska, right along the very bottom of Nebraska. Then from St. Joe, Missouri, straight over to eastern Missouri, and then right through the center of Illinois, center of Indiana, kind of the lower half of Ohio, into West Virginia, and then Maryland, and then, into Washington, D.C. That's the tentative route, okay? And he says that can change here and there. I says, how long is this going to take? And he goes, oh, probably 140, 160 days, something like that. Gray Wolf could get 10,000 or more with the open borders. There you go. Okay. Just like James Top of Canada. Who's James Top? I don't know who that is. Somebody, is that a Canadian that's walking across Canada? I guess. I don't know. So I don't know. Power to him. And I told him, if I just happen to bumble across him somewhere or whatever, I'll, if I can take the time, I'll pull the truck over somewhere, get out and walk for a while. We're talking 300 or 400 yards probably, but I'll probably walk a little ways with him. But I'm like, man, this is going to be an adventure. I mean, this is going to be hard on you. And he goes, yeah, he's 62 years old and he's got arthritis in his knee. So is he going to be able to physically stand it? I don't know. I mean, blisters on your feet and, walking, you get like chafing in between your legs or something, whatever. So I don't know. He says he can just start off slow. He's not going to do 30 miles the first day. He says the way he's gauging this is walk for 10 hours a day at about 2.5 mile an hour. So you're going to somewhere around 20 miles per day. Okay, on a good day. Okay, but when he first starts out, he might only walk 4 or 5 miles the first day, just to, why go out and kill yourself the first day and then be so sore you can't walk the second day, kind of. I don't know. But anyway, he's going to walk across Highway 50. Highway 50 is known as the loneliest highway in America. Yeah, that's, in the summer. Yeah, somebody just said, yeah, he's going to do this across in the summer. And the thing is, the time it's going to take him to get over there, by the time he gets to Washington, D.C., it's going to be November. So he's going to go from 100 degrees in the Nevada desert, walking across Highway 50, and later on, he's going to be over in D.C. in November. It's going to be cold, so I don't know. I think if I was him, I'd have started this 2 months ago. But, power to him if he can do it, and I guess the idea is walk nothing but 2-lane highways because you can't walk. So why don't you just get on the interstate and walk? He said, I can't, it's illegal to walk on the interstate. I'm like, why? When? I see people walking on the interstate all the time. Yeah, but they're just like homeless people bumming a ride or something like that. But if you're out there doing a walk like that, the cops will, give you a hard time about it. He says, now you want to stay on 2-lane roads. Okay, good enough. So anyway, see, he's got it kind of planned out. He says there's certain areas where he won't be able to walk because it's 4-lane, divided highway and he can't walk on it. Whatever. He says at those places, he'll just take the bus up, 5 miles until he can get off of that road or whatever. But he's got an old 68, I think he said a 1968 Beechwood. I might be wrong on the year. 68 or 69, something like that. 68, 69 Beechwood motorhome. And he said it's in rough shape. It don't look good. He says it's mechanically pretty good, but it's just ugly as hell. It looks nice on the inside, but on the outside it looks terrible. He said he's got somebody volunteering to drive that for him. So he's going to be walking and the RV is going to be putting along right behind him at 2 miles an hour. So, but anyway, they're going to do that and walk all the way across country and get donations and funding and all this kind of stuff and raise awareness. Basically do the same thing the convoy was trying to do, is raise awareness to get people to understand. And I said, what's your goal or whatever? He says the same thing as the convoy, same thing as the People's Convoy. This is the masks and all that. And he says, well, it's the medical mandates and stuff like that, and get rid of the Emergency Powers Act and all that stuff. Oh, okay, all right. So anyway, he's going to do it, and he's going to do it live while he's walking. He's going to be walking along with his camera, walking, do 10-hour live streams every day. And you got a backpack. He's got a backpack with what they call a camelback. It's a backpack full with a bladder in it, and you can fill it up with water or whatever. He says, fill it up with Gatorade and take off walking. He says he got somebody who's already donated him 20 pairs of tennis shoes. So, he's got a nurse that's going to nurse him along the way in case he gets blisters on his feet or whatever. And somebody donated a bunch of Aspercream, I think it was, the patches he put on his knee because he's got arthritis in in one of his knees. So I don't know. He's got more gumption than I've got. I don't know, but anyway, that's Grey Wolf. That's what he's going to be doing. So anyway, the Grey Wolf, greywolfwalk.com. You can go over and check it out. So, and Grey Wolf Walk for Freedom. Oh, it starts on the 27th of June 27th, which I think he said was a Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. So anyway, there you go. About a week from now. About 6 days from now. And if y'all don't know who Grey Wolf is, on this site, you scroll down and there's a picture of 4 people. One is Ted Cruz. Everybody knows who Ted Cruz is. And then, is it Rick Johnson? I think it's Rick Johnson from Wisconsin, I believe. And then Jason Alexander, Paul Alexander, Dr. Paul Alexander, the Dr. Lockham. And then Grey Wolf. You got a picture, all 4 of them standing there. The one on the far right, that's Ron. Ron Coleman is his name, and his name is Grey Wolf. Grey Wolf's his CB handle and whatever, his YouTube channel handle and all that kind of stuff. So he's probably out there live streaming right now. Let's go look, see if he's live streaming right now. He live streams a lot. He's one that just turns the camera on and leaves it on all day. No, Grey Wolf he's not live streaming right now. Mudpig is. You want to go over and watch Mudpig? So, but then again, I am too. So hey, you can stay here if you want. So. All right, what else we need to talk about? Anything else today? Thank you for the $50 there. Appreciate it. Ride along, gang. But, somebody was asking earlier, and I got interrupted somehow or another about the fasting, my diet. Pretty much all this week, I haven't ate much of anything. What's today? Tuesday? I ate Saturday. When I was at the race in Des Moines, Iowa, or Altoona, Iowa, when I was at the horse races, I ate that day. I ate big breakfast that morning, and that evening I ate a sandwich and stuff here in the truck. Just not. I didn't go out to a restaurant or anything, but I ate here in the truck, and just ate normal. Anything I wanted. I had some ice cream that night. Drank a couple beers. And just didn't. Just eat whatever you want. I mean, of course, you eat ice cream. That's more bad calories going in, and you're kind of defeating the purpose. But you can do whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want on a fast. It's not so much what you eat; it's how you don't eat, and nothing goes in for so many hours. And there's all kinds of videos you can. I did some videos on it, but I'm not a doctor, so I kind of quit doing videos talking about how this all works. I just say that I'm doing it, and if you want to learn more, go to YouTube, type in intermittent fasting, and Dr. Eric Berg is a really good one. There's several of them that are really good. Dr. Eric Berg.
Still on it.
Siri asked me something, or activated for some reason.
Something went wrong. Please try again.
I don't want to try again. Pop RV for buses. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'd heard they're on the when you go to rvtrader.com, a lot of them are at Pop RV. So yeah. But yeah, as far as the school bus, I can find a school bus there in all over in Dallas, all the schools in Dallas and everything. And I would want to get one from down there anyway. I don't want to buy a bus from New York. I want to buy a bus from Wisconsin because of the rust, okay? School buses are made out of steel, so they rust. I would rather buy one from Texas or farther south than Dallas even. But Phoenix, Arizona, buses and stuff like that. You don't have any rust on them, and the things that do wear out in the heavy desert are things like your rubber pipes, your rubber stuff, and that can be replaced real easy, like on your radiator hoses and things like that, because it's hot in Arizona. There's lots and lots of heat under that hood. Whereas in Wisconsin, you don't have the problem with that because it's not that hot, but you get terrible rusting problems. So if I was to buy a bus, it'd be one that came from the Texas or southern area, Texas or Arizona or New Mexico, something like that. Is where El Paso would be a perfect place to have a bus from. But so anyway, that's just different ideas I've come up with, and I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I've got that van. The problem with the van is it's for one person. It's only big enough for one person. So, and Pam's going to be retiring here next another month or so. And she's kind of like, what are we going to go do? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, so we're just kind of, we're what do you call it? We're in negotiations. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. What else we want to talk about? Rewatch the no convoy talk. No, I don't want to talk about the convoy. Don't want to talk about 1776. Don't want to talk about any of that stuff. It's just, I'm done with that. I talked about Grey Wolf. That's kind of convoy talk, I guess. I mean, it's what's left over. It's the residual, whatever word I'm looking for there, but it's the continuation of the convoy, kinda, So there you go. So anything else? Go with a motorhome, probably. And that's another thing is just buy a motorhome, buy a $30,000 or $50,000 motorhome and just do that. I don't know. The problem I have with a motorhome is every place on the roof has a pipe sticking through, and there's no place to put solar panels on them. Okay, and the idea is I want to have lots and lots of solar, so I can cook with electric, I can heat with electric, I can air condition with electric. With solar, everything, and you got to have a lot of solar for air conditioning. And the other thing is just travel where the weather's nice. But there are days where we're right here, it's going to be hot for a couple days. It's not worth driving. You turn the air conditioner on for a couple days, just during the hottest part of the day. And you need a lot of solar to do that, a lot of solar and a lot of batteries to do that. And most RVs aren't built to where you can do that. You can put 200 or 300 watts of solar up there, but that's nothing. That's just to keep the lights on, and that's about it. You need a lot more solar to charge a lot more batteries if you're going to use a lot more electricity. And RVs are just a pain in the butt because everywhere you get up on the roof of an RV, there's a air conditioner here, there's an air conditioner there, there's a vent here, there's the toilet has a vent, the range or the refrigerator has a vent. There's all these holes in the top of an RV, Some guy just pulled up out here in a pickup, pulled right up beside me. He's got a trailer. I think he's checking his trailer out. Let me see here. So anyway, so yeah, the RVs, the negatives I have, and they're just built like junk. If you've ever seen an RV roll over, they just disintegrate. They just fall apart. They're junk. They're just And everybody loses money on an RV. Everybody loses money on an RV. You buy an RV for $50,000, you run it for 2 years, you bring it back and sell it for 25 or 30. You know, it's just. So I don't like the idea of an RV itself, but be the simple way to go. And the other thing is, a school bus might not be allowed into a lot of RV parking. Like if you go to a national park or something, maybe they won't let you in because it's not a RV, a factory-built RV. I don't know. I know some big RVs can't go into national parks because they're too long. I think they got like 35-foot limit. So if you got a 40-foot diesel pusher, a lot of times you can't go into a national park. You have to, Tipsy Marlin, that's one of the things they have a problem with. They've got that semi pulling a really long fifth wheel, and it's all stretched out and it's really long and everything. And when they call an RV park, they've really got to check with them, make sure that, hey, we have a 18-wheeler semi pulling this thing. It's huge. Do you have big enough lots for it or parking spots for us? And they say it's kind of hard to find a place to park, and they go to RV parks a lot. I don't want to do RV parks at all, if at all possible. Just stay completely away from them. I don't have any desire to go to those. So I don't know. Do you realize Joe worked last night? Well, good for him. Be very. Oh, somebody's wanting me to call Joe. Yeah, and Joe works at night. He has a night shift because that's what his YouTube channel is about, the police work at night. And so I don't know how late he stays up, till 3 or 4 in the morning maybe, or 5. He might stay up till 7 in the morning. I don't know. So I'm not going to call him. Right now in California, it's 9 o'clock in California. He's asleep right now, so I don't want to call him. And I haven't talked to Joe. Last time I talked to Joe, he was on his way. He was through Arkansas. He was in Arkansas on his way back to California. That's the last time I actually talked to him. He sent me a text the other day, Happy Father's Day, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but otherwise, I haven't really talked to Joe at all. Yeah, Grey Wolf wants people to bombard the TV stations along the way to get the message out. So. Yeah, so my plan is to keep driving for leisure after you retire. I don't mind driving. I don't mind driving at all. I'm tired of trucking, I'm tired of every time I turn around, I'm worried, is that cop going to pull me over and give me a ticket for something that I didn't deserve, So that's one of the things there. Let's see here. He still has the horns on his car. Good old Joe. I didn't figure he'd take them off. From 4 p.m. to midnight? Oh, that's not too late. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Jessie says she got up and did yard work before it got hot that afternoon. Got up 7 a.m., did yard work before it got too hot. There, that guy in that Dodge pickup's pulling out. Let's see. Yeah, 190 watts is nothing. Yeah, 190 watts will do your lights and your TV and stuff like that. You need, like on that van, I got 840 watts of solar on that van. And the problem is it's laying flat and the sun's coming in at an angle. You have to tilt those. Well, I don't have them tilted. So even I got 840 watts, even on a really, really nice, bright, sunny summer day, I'm only getting about 550 watts because it's coming in at an angle. To get 840, I'd have to tilt them and point them straight at the sun, So, 840 isn't all that much, okay? Well, why don't I build them to tilt? Well, because then every time I turn around, I got to get out and tilt them up to get solar and everything. So I figured I needed about 400 or 500 watts of solar. So I put 800 watts on there so I could just leave them flat and not have to mess with them. Here's your thing on solar. you look at your system, you go, I need 1,000 watts for what I'm doing for this solar system. I need 1,000 watts. So I can either put 1,000 watts on there and tilt them to the sun and move all day long, keep moving them as the sun, sun goes across the sky, or I can just put another 200 or 300 watts on there and just leave them flat and not have to worry about them. So if you need 1,000 watts, put 1,300 watts on the roof, 1,200 to 1,300 watts on the roof, and just leave them flat, and you get enough. You get 900 watts pretty much the whole day, So that's the theory on solar panels. And me, I would like to have, a couple thousand watts of solar up there and a lot of batteries. I've got 4 Battleborns in the van. In a school bus, I'd probably have more like, that's 400 amp hours. I'd have more like 1,000 amp hours. And I wouldn't buy Battleborns, they're way too expensive. But I'd probably get some of these, like the battery I got for the shop, it's a 200 amp hour battery, and it cost me like $600 or something like that. So I'd get 5 of those, So you put a lot of those kind of batteries in. And you have all kinds of batteries you could run air conditioning if you wanted to. But my idea is just drive and go to places that's not hot. And you don't have to run air conditioner, you don't have to run heat. Just travel wherever it's 70 degrees, that's where you go to. So if you want to go to Texas, go in the fall, go in the spring. Don't go in the middle of the summer. If you want to go to Texas and stay at 70 degrees, you're going to go to South Texas in the dead of winter. Go down around El Paso, or even El Paso gets cold at times. But go all the way down to the valley, go down by Laredo or someplace like that. Go down to Florida or southern Arizona. You go way down there in Yuma, places like that. And you have beautiful weather. It'll be 70 degrees down there when it's blizzard in Wyoming or Wisconsin or Iowa or Utah or wherever. It's really nice down there in the wintertime. Now spring and fall, it's really nice in Texas. The winters can get cold and the summer's definitely way too hot. So after you can hang around Dallas, spring and fall. The wintertime, head south for a month or so. During, when it really gets cold, in January mainly, head south or head to Arizona. And then during the summer, just go up into the Rockies and go mess around up in the Rocky Mountains and just have a good time up there. So I don't know, just all kinds of thoughts and ideas, but I'll eventually do it. What's going on with Dr. Malone? I have no idea. I don't know much of anything about all that stuff. Once the convoy closed down, or actually after I left the convoy, I tried to just back off all of it, and because I'm not there enough to keep up with all the little ins and out and minutia and he said, she said, and all the gossip and crap and everything. And I if you're not there to keep up on a day to day, I don't want to be a part of the gossip part, and I don't see it does any good. Just for me to talk about it. I mean, it doesn't do anything good for me to talk about. What Santa and them are doing up there, if it grows and they can actually do something with it, great. But otherwise, I don't know. Enough said about that. I'm not there, so that tells you a lot right there. If I really was interested in it, I'd be there, but I'm not. I'm out here doing this. So, and it's not that I don't care about the country and blah blah blah. It's just what the TPC did. They tried it, didn't work. Somebody needs to back up and come up with a different idea. And what the 1776 is not a different idea. It's just a continuation of the same idea. And I didn't see how it does any good. So, but could be wrong. It might catch one hell of a following and go in there like gangbusters. And if that's the case, hey, well, good for them, and maybe I'd show up then. But just sitting around in a parking lot and doing karaoke to me is not doing much any good. So, all right. Anything else we want to talk about today? Been on there for an hour and a half almost, or a little over an hour and a half. So I guess that's good enough for now. We've had a good day today. I'm just going to sit and watch some TV. Actually, I haven't, I ate on, like I said, I ate on Saturday. I haven't ate on Sunday or Monday. I'll probably go most of the day today, and then later on this evening, I'll probably cook something if I'm still sitting here. If I'm driving, I might go another day. But if I'm just sitting around here all day with nothing to do, I'll probably go ahead and, start munching on something. But yeah, trying to lose a little bit of weight. I need to get this belly fat off of me and get all this stuff off of me. So, when I left the house, last time I weighed myself, I was in around the 264, I think, something like that, mid 260s. So, if I was to weigh myself right now, I'm going to guess I'd be in the mid, because I've been fasting for, week and a half now or better, almost better part of 2 weeks, so, and I've ate, it hasn't been a whole 2-week fast. It's been 2 days here, then eat, and then 2 days, then eat, and then, 2.5 days, and then eat, that kind of thing. And when you do eat, you want to try to eat some, nutritious type food. You don't want to eat Pop-Tarts. So you want to eat something that has a lot of nutrients in it. So, yeah, and be careful. Yeah, the fasting, I've done it before, and it works fine for me. Some people can't do it, especially if you have like diabetes. Don't try it, or at least look into it a lot harder than I did. But yeah, go if you're interested in fasting. Dr. Eric Berg is a really good spot on YouTube to go do some research and everything and watch videos. There's several of them out there. And it works. I mean, it works for me anyway. It might not work for you. It might not work for the next person, but it worked for me. And it's about the easiest diet you can go on. Just don't eat. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to, well, can I eat this or can I eat that? No, just don't eat anything. Don't eat anything. Water and coffee, anything that, and if you have coffee, it has to be plain coffee, just black coffee. You can't have any creamers and sugars or all. Okay. Just to give you a real quick idea, the idea behind fasting is to make your body look elsewhere for the calorie intake that it needs. You put food in your mouth, you chew it up, it goes into your stomach breaks it down, it goes through your intestines, pulls the nutrients out, okay? And what it doesn't use gets pooped out. All those nutrients get put into where? Your blood, so that your blood can deliver those nutrients to these cells in your arms and fingers and skin and ears and toes. Okay, all the different places of your body need those nutrients, and it gets delivered by the highway system that's in your body, the blood system. Okay, so it's delivered by blood. Okay, when you quit eating, the food that you ate goes into your stomach, lasts about 8 hours, and you're pooping it out roughly 8 or so 10 hours later. You're pooping it out. Okay. And you want to test that, eat some corn and don't chew it very well. And then look, and sure enough, corn will be coming out in about 8 hours. All right. So, and then after it's out of the food, it's into your blood. It's in your blood for about 8 hours. Okay. So the nutrients that you put in your mouth take about 8 hours to break down and get put into your body and then into your bloodstream. And in the form of glucose, I guess. Anyway, and that gets shipped around your body, and that supplies your body for about 8 hours, okay? So you get 16 hours. After 16 hours from the last time you ate, 16 hours later, there's no food, there's no nutrients left. And your body's going, hey, we're hungry. That's why you get the hunger pangs. You're like, oh, gotta eat. Oh, I want to eat, So what you do, or if you don't eat, your body will start knocking on knocking on the door and say, hey, feed us, okay? And if you don't feed us, eventually it gets tired of knocking on that door and says, all right, guys, let's go find someplace else to get some nutrients. So it starts looking elsewhere, and it's stored fat, like right here, right here, that stored fat in your body, it starts breaking that down. The reason it doesn't like to do that is because it's hard to break that fat down. If you eat a Twinkie, They didn't even make Twinkies anymore. They quit making them, didn't they? Or did they start making them again? I don't know. Anyway, but if you eat something sweet like a Danish, okay? You eat that Danish. It's carbs and sugar, okay? Sugar and what do you call it? Sugar and when you eat it, it breaks down. Sugar breaks down to sugar real easy, okay? Everything has to be broke down into a sugar like glucose, okay? So it all has to be broke down into this. Into a sugar trying to think of how to phrase it. It's all got to be broke down into a sugar type substance, which would be glucose, goes into your body, into your blood, and goes to the cells, okay? Your blood delivers that glucose to your cells, all right? So your cells are sitting there munching down on sugar, basically, okay? Well, you eat sugar, it's real easy to break that down. If you eat breads, it's easy to break bread, carbs, into sugar, okay? But you eat beef, okay? You eat beef jerky, it's hard to break that down into sugars. It can do it, but it's harder to do, okay? So if you eat a whole bunch of Twinkies, and you eat a whole bunch of beef jerky, your body's gonna go, hey, let's use the sugar, and your beef jerky just goes through and kind of goes in and out because it doesn't need it. It pushes it on out and poops it out. But because it's got all the nutrients it can handle with all the sugar you just ate, okay? So for your body to go into this thing called ketosis, I think is the name of it. For your body to go into this ketosis state, you can't have any sugar going in. You got to deprive yourself of that sugar, and your body looks elsewhere to get fat and break that fat down and turn that into sugar, glucose, to feed your cells, okay? And it starts breaking all that fat cells down and everything. And it's much more complicated than that. If you watch those, Berg videos and everything, you can learn a lot about that. But it breaks all that stuff down. Now, like I said, if you got diabetes, you want to be very careful about it because your body doesn't break that sugar down very well, okay? So, yeah. So anyway, the fasting, it works if you're, if you got a good healthy body and all that, and you're not diabetic or whatever, it works really well. If you're diabetic, I'd talk to a doctor first. But do your own research and everything. But it works for me, And the idea is you can't put any sugars in your mouth, because if you put coffee, you take coffee and you pour sugar in it or cream or whatever, okay, and you drink that, okay. As it goes into your body recognizes, hey, there's sugar. Oh boy, sugar's coming in. And think of your body has all these little workers running around inside, okay? The minions, okay, the little minions, okay? Yeah. You get the minions, they're all running around inside your body, okay? It's a little body factory, all right? And you eat food, the food goes in, and there's a minion in there going, yep, there comes something into the stomach, goes, hey, we got a lot of food over here, and come over and break it down and, dissolve it and everything, go down, and we'll break it down through the work truck turning around. We'll break it all down and we'll use it. We'll disperse this throughout the body. Relax, don't. Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, and I was getting the sugar sweets, the sweet and low and stuff like that. That doesn't work either, because what happens is that little minion that's sitting there in your stomach, and as the food's plopping down in there, it's taking inventory. Well, there's sugar, okay, and your body breaks all that down, okay. And when there's nothing coming in, that guy goes, hey, there's nothing coming in. Hey, you guys go elsewhere and find food, okay? So it goes around, the minions all run around in different parts of your body to break down fat cells. And they bring the fat cells back and break those down, and it supplies your body with the sugar that it needs, okay? When you drink coffee with sugar in it, you've just ruined that. The guy with the clipboard, as food's coming down in his stomach, goes, oh, here comes some sugar. Hey, you guys quit eating them fat cells. Come up here. We got free sugar. It's easy to do. And they'll come running back and they quit eating that fat cell. So you don't put sugar in your coffee. All right, sweet and low. Sure, sweet and low is not sugar. We can put that in there. But that guy with the clipboard doesn't know any better. He thinks it's sugar. As it comes into your body, it thinks it's sugar. Okay? So it says, hey, we got sugar here. And all the little minions quit they're eating their fat cells, and they come running back up there and they go, wait a minute, there's no sugar. Meanwhile, they're not eating the fat cell. Okay? Your body quits eating the fat cell because it thinks there's sugar in your system now, in your stomach, because of the sweet and low. So you can't use that either. Okay? Can't use any of the saccharin or any of that kind of stuff. What's the other one? Stevia, any of that. You can't use any of that. You got to let your body think and know that there's no sugar on the way. So we have to go find our own, like by breaking down fat cells. Fat cells are hard to break down versus the easy Twinkie that you just ate. So if it's got low-hanging fruit, it's the easy one to break down. So they'll eat the sugar in the Twinkie and not eat that fat cell. So you got to get rid of that Twinkie. Get rid of it. Now the only thing they have to eat is that flat cell. Okay, makes sense. So anyway, amazing explanation. I'm just trying to break it down into a different, instead of that doctor, well, you got this many anti-inflammatoriums and blah, blah, all the medical jargon, which when you watch Dr. Berg, and I know Dr. Berg is a chiropractor. I know he's a chiropractor, but he knows a lot more about shit than you and I do. So anyway, and go there and learn. If you don't believe it, don't do it. But it works for me. The fasting has worked for me. My problem is I lost a lot of weight, kept it off for a good year or better, and then COVID hit, and I'm sitting around the house bored out of my skull, nothing to do, so I'm sitting there eating everything. Pam kept going to the store and buying more Twinkies and, not Twinkies, but brownies and stuff like muffins and stuff like that. Here's some more ice cream. I'm like, So it was there, and I've got this thing. As a kid, Mom was always, you clean your plate. If we went to a restaurant buffet or something like that, which we never did, but we went to somebody's house at like Thanksgiving or something, and it's you go and fill your plate up and take it. And my mom was always one of those, hey, you put that on your plate, you eat it, you don't waste food, okay? And I hate wasting food. So if Pam comes home and she's got a box of muffins, and she opens it up and she eats one muffin for breakfast one day, okay, or half of a muffin or something, right? Whatever. I'm sitting there and I'll eat one muffin, but then these other I try not to eat them, right? And they sit there and they sit there and they sit there. And eventually I know they're going to start getting old and it's, moldy or something, and I can't stand that. I eat them up before they go bad. Eat it up before they go bad. So I eat it up before they go bad. She goes and buys more. So anyway, and it's not Pam's fault. I'm not blaming her. It's the situation. I don't waste food in the truck here. I don't waste hardly any food at all. If it's in the refrigerator and I know it's been in there a while, I eat it first before I eat something I just bought. Okay, and a lot of things I don't put a lot of food in this truck in here that I don't put things in here like strawberries, because strawberries never last very long. Things like that. I tend not to buy. I buy things that have a good shelf life as long as you keep them in the refrigerator, or in the cabinets or whatever. That's the kind of foods that I buy. I don't buy foods that go bad. So I can take my time and eat them and never waste any of it. A lot of people buy food that they and bless her heart, but Pam has all the best of intentions. She'll be down at the store and she sees the strawberries and the shortcake, let's make strawberry shortcake, right? And she'll buy that stuff. Well, I'll buy that, and then when he comes home, we'll have that for dessert. Yay. And I don't show up for another 10 days. I come home, we got strawberries in there for dessert, and everything. I go in there all moldy because they've been in there for a week, that's just ideas, examples, I mean. So, Yeah, apples last a long time. Melissa, how much did I make at the racetrack? Yeah, about 85 bucks roughly. I won $114, but I spent 30, so 114 minus 30 is it was $114.50 minus the 30 that I invested in the program and the different races, $2, $2, $5, added up to right at $30. Okay, so 114 minus 30 is what, 84, 84.50, something like that, I think, whatever. I only want to eat meat. Yeah, and there's different kinds of diets. I do the fasting thing. There's other kinds of diets where people, the keto, where you just eat nothing. You don't eat any carbs, no sugar and no carbs. You eat nothing but proteins. Okay, meats and stuff like that, cheeses, stuff like that. Um, um, I guess my problem with the keto diet, it's an expensive diet. You're eating nothing but meat and cheeses and stuff. That's expensive food. Why don't I eat what I want, what I like, whatever I want to eat? On days that I want to eat, I eat whatever I want. And then on other days, I don't eat anything, But when I do eat, I eat whatever I damn well please. But here, this is sausage, you get the idea. It's, here's some ham, Black Forest ham. That's what I make sandwiches with and stuff. And oh yeah, I keep forgetting about this. Somebody gave me this at the convoy. It's been in the freezer. I keep forgetting about it. I need to cook that up. I keep forgetting about it. So, but anyway, but I eat whatever I want to eat. If I want to eat a muffin or that Twinkie I keep talking about, I don't eat Twinkies very often, but you get the idea. If I want to eat some cookies or whatever, I eat whatever I want on the days that I eat. Okay, whatever my body says, I'm hungry for that, because that's telling me it wants that cookie because it's got sugar in it, or it wants that asparagus because it has whatever asparagus has in it. It's like a pregnant woman wants. Who was it? Oh, my old sister-in-law from way back 40 years ago when I was married. My sister-in-law, when she was pregnant, she craved dirt. I guess because in her mind she needed iron, and her body needed iron, and in her mind, I guess subconsciously, she thought iron is in dirt. She wanted to eat dirt. She had a craving for dirt. So, your body tells you what you want, what it wants, what it's to eat, and I, like some people, I like broccoli compared to, there's a lot of people don't like broccoli for some reason. I love broccoli, cauliflower. I like all that stuff. As a kid, I hated cauliflower, but I'd love it nowadays. But anyway. But yeah, with the keto, you can't eat certain foods like potatoes and stuff like that. I love potatoes, and they're so cheap, it's a financial thing too, I sit there and watch these videos on YouTube about keto diets and stuff, and you can't eat potatoes, but you can eat this. What they do is they take cauliflower and they cook it all up and get it all mushy, and then they mush it up and make cauliflower mashed potatoes. And apparently, because it's cauliflower, it's a vegetable that has the right ingredients versus the potato that has the bad ingredients, like the starches and stuff. So just things like that. I'm like, potato, what's wrong with potatoes? Yeah. So I don't know. Oh shoot, I'm rambling now. I'm talking about cauliflower and potatoes. All right. I'm trying to think of anything else I needed to touch on this morning. There was things I was going to talk about. I got gray wolf. Talked about, I showed you the video of the Google SketchUp of the semi trailer that I was thinking about doing, which I kind of wrote that off simply because, like I said, I'd have $50,000 into it before I ever even got started on the build, and then put another $10,000, $20,000 into it. So I'd have $70,000 into this thing. I could buy a really nice motorhome for $70,000, So, That's probably why other people haven't done it, you know. The people that have done it are truck drivers that already have their truck. Now I already have this truck. Pam's like, why don't you just use this truck to pull the trailer? Because then I'd have a $120,000 truck, a $15,000 trailer, and I'd have $150,000 wrapped up into the rig. Sell this truck and get us a much cheaper truck just to pull the box. That's all it's for. This truck is used to live in, okay? Because I live in this thing when I'm out on the road. I don't need this to live in when I got the huge trailer. You know, you get the idea on that. So I'm just trying to figure out the logical way to go here. And I just, every time I turn around, I keep coming back to that school bus. So, you know, but I got to talk somebody into it first, you know, if she wants to go do it or not, but I don't know. Can't think of anything else. What else I got to talk about? Must be it. I guess it's time to cut this thing off. We're almost 2 hours, man. I usually try not to do these really long videos, but I'm sitting here doing nothing. I'm touching on all these subjects I keep forgetting about when I'm driving down the highway. So, all right. Well, y'all be good, I guess. And let's see here. Scott Rollins. Yeah, Scott. I recognize his name. Not a troll by any means. Been here from the start. Height and weight are relative. Also, I'm a Sagittarius and thought he was. No, North Star Scott. I recognize his name. He's been around for a long time. Yeah. Not unheard of eating clay during pregnancy. Ugh. Yuck. There you go. Talking about breeding dogs and stuff. Dirt has a lot of minerals broken down to dirt, yeah. Dirt cherry pie. Oh, here we go. North Star, can you recommend a way to find a good dog breeder? Okay, that's what she was talking about. Yeah, salads, you throw away, you buy a head of lettuce, you cut it up and everything, and usually 80% of that lettuce gets thrown away, it seems. I try not to buy lettuce too much. For one, iceberg lettuce has almost no nutrients at all. You know, it's just basically water in physical form. It has very, very little nutritional value. So basically, it's for texture when you eat a hamburger or something. When you eat a sandwich. Granted, ham and cheese sandwich with a leaf of lettuce on there tastes better because it has a different texture than just a ham and cheese. But you know, I don't buy lettuce because it usually always goes bad before I ever use it. So, all right, good enough. We've talked about all kinds of different things today. I'm gonna go watch TV for a while and just chill, just kick back and chill. So y'all be good, take care, and God bless. Remember, God loves you and all that good stuff, right? So y'all be good, take care, and we'll see you mañana. And maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll have a load by then, but I have no idea. Right now, I'm sitting here waiting, patiently waiting, and I have no idea. I might get a load going from here to New Jersey. I might get a load going from here to Salt Lake City. I might get a load from here going to El Paso. I have just, who knows? I'm just not going to go west. Hey, we got a load here going to Seattle. No, I'll wait. I don't want to go that way. So, all right, y'all be good. Take care. We'll see y'all later. All right, bye-bye.